No, you do not need to put 20% down when you're buying a house. End of video, done. This is a myth that just refuses to die. There are numbers, minimums that you have to do. 20% just ain't it for most people. I am Mortgage Murph. I am a veteran turned mortgage broker, and I would love to help you with all of your mortgage needs. So with that, let's get into it. So why do people say you need 20% down, right? So if you're doing a conventional loan and you put 20% down, you're not going to pay private mortgage insurance. Most of the time, it's not really worth it. It's a thing that people used to do all the time, right? To avoid paying that, until you realize that it's not that big of a deal. It makes sense for some people, but most of the times it doesn't. I have very few people who choose to put that much down just because there's other things that you could do with it. That's the major thing is your grandparents did it, your parents did it, and now that's when houses cost like 2 nickels, right? It's 2026. That's just not really how it works around here. So yeah, well, let's get into the conventional loans, right? Minimum down payments, 3% for a first-time home buyer, right? That is very important. 5% down in literally almost every other case. So we're going to use a real example here that makes sense. On a $300,000 home, 3% down is $9,000, right? Again, first-time home buyers. If your mortgage broker is saying that they can't do that, you need to fire them and find somebody else. 5% down on $300,000 is $15,000, right? So what would it be if that was 20% down? $60,000, which is a massive amount of money, and most people just can't do that. And I'll be honest with you, I tell most people to not do that, right? FHA loans are a little bit different. Very common for first-time home buyers. Regardless, your minimum down payment is 3.5% across the board, right? Same example here, that 3.5% on our $300,000 home is going to be $10,500. FHA loans are more flexible when it comes to credit and income and things like that, which is why a lot of people use them. The downside is the private mortgage insurance. Compared to a conventional loan where it goes away at 20% or 22%, FHA loans, they're there for the, most of them, I should say, are there for the life of the loan, right? So it's one of those things that, one, you got to pay up front for it and monthly. So maybe it's not in the cards for you, but it's in the cards for somebody, right? VA loans. This is where things get powerful, and I love my veterans. As a veteran myself, this is why. So VA loans require 0 down payment. Myth. You can't put any money down. No, that's a lie. You can. You absolutely can put money down for a down payment with a VA home loan. Most people just choose not to do it because they want that 0%. So again, easy math, $300,000 home, $0 down payment is correct, $0. And there is no private mortgage insurance. So that makes a pretty big difference if you ask me. So what people get confused about, people get tripped up on the down payments are not the same thing as closing costs, right? They are separate things. Closing costs are typically around 2 to 5% of the purchase price. So anywhere on our, again, $300,000 home, that is going to be $6,000 to $15,000. But, you know, even if you have a VA loan with 0 down, you're still going to be paying closing costs. It's a totally separate function of the loan. So what does that mean for you? It means you don't have to put 20% down if you don't want to. It's the numbers that I gave you. So a lot of people think, you know, oh, you got to have perfect credit and huge savings and 20%. No, there are loan programs out there for pretty much anybody. There are specific programs for doctors, veterans, firefighters, first responders, you name it. There's probably something out there for you. You know, I've seen students in some cases. So it really just depends on your exact situation, which is why you need to get with a mortgage broker, because we do the shopping for you. That is all that I have. It was a relatively short and easy video, but I would love to help you with all of your mortgage needs. I am based out of Tennessee, but I do loans nationwide. So if you have any questions or need any help, links are below. Hit me up.